So
you said you called the...
I called the carrier back that I had told you about earlier, and I got more information from him. I know what I did. Like, I had my little spiel, like what I was telling him and everything, and I got so, I'm so used to that, but I didn't have the question, like, for the one that we, like, the prefer, what they prefer. I didn't have that in front of me, so I was trying to guess my questions at that time for him. So I know now to have that all together when I do the cold calls and stuff, because I wasn't prepared for that yes at that time. So I'll make sure I have that with me when I do this.
So are you on the computer or on your phone?
I'm on the computer.
So you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. So you were referring to the profile sheet here then? When you call them back? Okay.
And I got more information because I didn't, like I said, I didn't have that in front of me. And so I was trying to remember those questions, like everything I learned, and I was trying to remember that from my memory. And you just can't do that. It's just too much information. So, yeah.
Right. That's right. And I mentioned to you earlier that I was going to do a profile sheet for each of the 3 equipment types.
Yes.
Okay. So, what equipment type was the carrier that you have?
Reefa. He has a Reefa.
Okay.
And he did tell me that sometimes he'll use it as a dry van. He just said when he did it as a dry van, he wasn't getting paid as much as doing it as a Reefa. So.
And he would be right. Let's see. So let's go back a little bit. When you when you got the carrier, when you talked to the carrier, what was your dialogue, or what did you say, and how did you do that? Just to give me a refresher of what you did to convince him to say, yeah, you can be my dispatcher. So.
Well, I did what you said. I called him and I asked him, I made sure I was talking to the right person, and I asked him if he was under a load, if he was looking for a load right now, and he was like, yeah, I'm actually looking for a load, and I let him know that I work with a network of dispatchers, and a network of dispatchers and everything, and what I offer, like, it's going to be with a dedicated dispatcher, and I help him load plan and everything. So I kind of I got my list of what I do, and I went down that list, and I told him about our fees and everything. So and he was looking for a load. I just called him in that, and so I did. I haven't gotten my carrier package back from him, but that's kind of how I went through with him. Just kind of let him know what I offer. And I'll let him know that I will be available 24 hours. So I've been keeping my phone on. So.
Okay, so let's start from yours. So we're going to do carrier profiles as it relates specifically to the 3 major equipment types that we start off with generally. Now you can apply these. Now, and some of these things that we're going to list. It's universal. It can go on every, like name, for example. That can go on any of the profiles. But there are certain things for a particular equipment type that we want to differentiate from the other ones. So when we discover our potential carrier, because when you're talking to the carrier, I'm assuming that everyone is asking them what type of equipment type do you have, or when you do your search on like Trucker's Path or wherever you search for the carrier, and then you call that carrier, I would assume that you pretty much have an idea already what their equipment type is based off of, you looking them up, seeing what their equipment type is. You look their NC up and on Safer and kind of vet them out and things like that. So, but for you, oh yeah, by the way, where is he under a load? Is he looking for something?
He's going to Nebraska. He's on the way. He has a load right now. He's dropping it off at 5:30 today Central Time, and he said he'll need one for tomorrow.
Okay,
And
so
he
have you
wants
started?
in Omaha, Nebraska is where he's looking because that's where he'll be at. I've been looking on the low boards. He also
Okay, well,
kind of gives an
let's
idea
do
like,
that.
okay,
Yeah, let's do that first then. Are you said you were looking on low boards?
I'm looking on him now, kind of seeing what's out there. And I talked to him about his rate. He said he would like $2 a mile. If I can get $2.50, I told him I don't know with the rates and everything right now kind of being low. But you know, I'm going to look and see what's available.
So the minimum he'll take is $2.
Yes.
Okay. So what low board are you looking or low boards?
I have Trucker's Path Up and 123 low board. I have that one up as well. Let me pull this up.
What about Internet Truck Stop?
I don't have that one. I had DAT, but no, I don't have the Internet Truck Stop. You think that's the best one to kind of search for the loads?
Well, it's helpful.
Okay.
But let's see here. Let's move this one. So we can either on internet. This is Internet Truck Stop.
Okay.
Okay. And we can either do a quick search where we fill in the origin, city and state, the equipment type, destination, city and state. Probably leave destination, city and state blank because we want to see where the load goes to anywhere from Nebraska, right? So you can do a quick search or you can do the new search. Let's do new search. That way you can see all the fields that you are wanting to fill in. So you say he was going to be in Omaha?
Omaha. He's there now. He's in Omaha, Nebraska now. So he was looking for a load to pick up because he'll be dropping his load at 5:30. So it's 5:15 here. He's in Central Time.
And he's a reefer.
Yes.
Now, what were some of the other questions you had asked him about as far as the profile? Like how many picks and how many drops he would, what's the most or what's the least amount?
I did not ask him that. I didn't ask him how many drops. I asked him how much weight he wants on his truck. I did not ask him about the drops. I wasn't needed to write it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna write it out. I'm gonna write it out. Hey, Robert, I'm gonna write it out and probably create 3 PDFs and then add those to the back office so everybody can have access to it.
Okay.
Picks, drops, weight. I'm writing that down. But let's see what we got. He's a reefer and he's picking up tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow is the 14th. So I'm going to say tomorrow and Thursday maybe. Closer to the weekend, he may have a better chance of finding something.
Okay. And yeah, he
and
said
does he have a
pick up or he said or Friday, drop off by Friday is what he said. Possibly if I could find something that drops off by Friday.
Did he say where and why?
No, not where and why.
Okay, so I'll leave.
I should have got that.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. This is your first carrier, right? So
yes.
We got. I hit the search button, and we got 69 total loads picking up out of Omaha within a deadhead. Now, did you get a deadhead? Did you ask him about his deadhead? How much deadhead?
150 to 200. 200
Okay.
miles.
So his deadhead to pick up something from the shipper is between 150 and 200 miles, which is nice, actually. So if I change that, let's go back and edit this. So if I give it the max deadhead, let's say 200, more than likely it's going to be more. But we'll see. Where's the drive? Where does he live?
He's actually Nebraska. He lives in Nebraska.
Oh, so he's trying to stay like local. It seems like.
He was
That's fine.
Denver. He's coming. The drop that he's doing today came from Denver.
Okay, so he must be trying. If he lives in Nebraska, he must be trying to get home then by over the weekend. Just get something small to get home. Okay, so we went from 69 when we increased the deadhead miles from 100 to 200. Now it went up to 225 loads that are possibly available. And what I do next in Internet Truck Stop, what I do is I click the rate, the word rate, the link. Now it's going to put it in order from highest rate to lowest rate. In other words, how much is paying the highest and lowest. And it by default, it only lists the first 10 loads, but it's 225, so I'm going to say, this drop down and say 100 at the time. So now it's going to show a lot more. So he's trying to, we just had one new one just popped in, so it's live. He wants to stay, if he wants to pick up and then drop off tomorrow, that means, so let's do this. Let me open up the map. I'm gonna open up the map and then put some surrounding states on the map, and then we'll do a search. We'll filter the search for those states that surround Nebraska, so we can keep it within. Because he wants to pick up tomorrow and drop
by Friday, or he said move tomorrow. Pick up tomorrow and drop possibly by Friday. So
okay.
So he's probably.
So he's right here. If you can see my map, right? So he's right here, Omaha. So he wants something picked up and dropped by Friday. So he's either going to stay in the state of Omaha, maybe Iowa, maybe South Dakota, maybe Kansas, maybe Missouri. So the surrounding states. I'm assuming he goes.
It's black. The screen is black. So I don't.
Huh?
The screen is black. I don't see anything on the screen.
Let me see. I thought I shared my screen, but how about now?
Yes, I can see it now.
See the map?
Yes.
Okay, so Omaha, that's where he's at now. So if he wants something, just picking up tomorrow from where he's going to be empty in Omaha and delivering by Friday, that means he wants to stay close to home, I'm assuming.
Exactly, yeah.
Over the weekend. So what we can do is do the surrounding states like Iowa, maybe Missouri, like Kansas City. That's close back to home. Where is he from? Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Sioux City?
I asked him. I don't know exactly what city. I know that his house is where his house is, Nebraska. So I don't know.
Okay.
You know what?
So he probably want to stay close to home. Probably do his weekend, do his reset, his 34-hour reset for the weekend. So a 34-hour, what that means is that's one day, 24 hours plus 10. So that's where the 34 comes from. A 10-hour reset plus a whole day. You got to reset your time after so many hours. I think it's 60 in 7 days and 70 in 8 days. You got to do a 34-hour reset. So let's just choose the surrounding states, including Nebraska. So Nebraska, let's say Kansas. I'm assuming he doesn't want to go back to Colorado, probably because it's snowing over there at this point. It's probably snowing in Nebraska as well, I would think. Let's say Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and either Minnesota or South Dakota. So we can go back up into our Internet Truck Stop and let's edit this search criteria and then choose for the destination. Instead of blank, we're going to choose multiple states, multi-state.
Okay.
And let's choose Nebraska. We said Kansas. Let me go back to the map. Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa. Missouri and Iowa. Let's just see those states right there and see what we get. Let's select them and hit the search. So that 225 is going to get smaller. Now it's 35. So now here's one right here from Lee Mars, Iowa, which is a 107-mile deadhead from where he's at. So that'll probably be somewhere in here. So he's here. So Lee Mars, Iowa is probably somewhere right here. And it's going to Springfield, Missouri. So he might pick something up in Iowa and then go down here to Springfield, Missouri. So, and that's paying $1,400. You said he doesn't want to haul no more than how much weight? 43?
43,000.
Okay, this one is 43,500.
I don't think that would be a problem. Yeah.
Okay, it's a reefer load. Now let's do the numbers on it too. I think it's over $3 a mile. He said over $2. It's well over $2. Let's get our calculator out. 1,400 is paying 1,400, and it's going for only 466 miles. So that's $3 even. But let's remember, he had to deadhead. Did I not share my screen? Robert said I just shared my screen. Could everybody see my screen?
I can see it now.
I just see the map.
I got let me go back to my share. Select items to share. Everything is shared.
Map. That's all I see is a map, Doc.
Yeah, I'm on the Let me minimize the map. What about now?
No, I just see the map.
I can see the load board.
Yeah,
what about now, Robert?
Map.
Huh? You still see the map?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I closed. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I closed the map. So.
All right. It's kind of slow. It's being kind of slow, I think. It's kind of cold.
Okay. All right. So this load is paying $1,400 to the truck, 466 miles. Now remember, there's deadhead miles too. He's willing to ride up to 200, 150 to 200. This is only 107. So if I add this deadhead miles to figure out the true cents per mile, I'm going to add that 107 to the 466, right? And that's going to give me 573. So now I divide that number, the miles, into that 1,400, and it should still be over what he wanted as a minimum cents per mile. It's going to be $2.44, which is close to the $2.50 that he wanted anyway. Right?
Yes, that was definitely.
Right, so that's somewhat what he's looking for now, and it's only 400. He's going and that's a day's journey. Even if you include the deadhead plus the travel miles, 573, you can do that in a day. So, and it's 500 pounds over what he wants to haul, even though he can haul about 45,000 in that trailer, but he only wants to haul so much for fuel costs. So now the next question for you, Stephanie, is because he is a reefer guy, so now we would have to look at the load, the details of the load. So if we click that particular load to open it up, to get the details of that load, we try to get an idea of how many picks or how many pickups he has to do from a shipper, and then how many drops or how many deliveries he has to do from to a receiver is on this load. If it's listed in the details, the load details of the load, we can get that information.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would have to call the brokers, and obviously it's not in there, right? It's not over here. We may be able to get a hold of this broker. This is 515. They may still be open. What's the MC number of your? He hasn't sent back a. He hasn't sent back a.
No. I'm gonna check my email.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna call the broker and see if they're still open. I'll give them an MC number of one of my carriers just to get an idea of what this load is about.
Okay, thank you.
I just gotta remember who. Let's see. Yeah, somebody who said that, Robert? That's what I'm looking at right now, Robert. Smooth. I'm looking at Smooth MC, so I can just for the heck of it. I knew it by heart. It's been so long. Oh man. That's terrible. I don't even know my own carrier's MC number by heart. There it is. Okay. 078314. All right. So let's call this central broker to see if they are available. We close this. So let me give him a call. Let me give him a call and see. And we'll be able to dialogue with this person also as well. Hopefully they're still available. So 515-348. They're in Iowa. It's 6:29, so it's 5:20. So they may still be there. Hi. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm okay. Hey, I'm looking at a load over here for your brokerage. I'm looking at a load coming out of Lamar's, Iowa tomorrow for a reefer going to Springfield. Is that covered?
I think that was for Friday, to be honest.
It says the pickup time is 11:14 early.
Yeah, I think they got switched. We're going to show those picking up on Friday, delivering Monday.
Okay, so can I get some details about it? Because I may have my driver just wait on it then, just do something local, and if it's still out there.
Yeah, they're just going to be picking up. Friday afternoon. I'm away from my office right now, so I don't have exact time, so I can get you those in the morning. But they would just be picking up tomorrow, or excuse me, Friday afternoon, delivering Monday. We have like 8 a.m. on.
Okay, just is it a 1-and-1?
Yes, sir. It's going to be live load, live unload.
Live load, live unload. Okay. All right, that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Thank
you. And then if you want me to, I can give you a call back in the morning if this is your direct line.
No, I'll call you back because this is not my direct line.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay. So did you hear all that, Stephanie?
Yes.
So go ahead.
When we do a reefer, I need to always check and see. Most of the time, it's going to be more than one drop. A lot of times, it's going to be more than one drop with a reefer.
Well, I can't say a lot of times, but the possibility with reefers is there's more of a possibility with reefers to be more than one pick and more than one drop than any other equipment type, like a dry van or a flatbed. Reefer, because you're delivering cold products, like you're delivering beverages and produce and things like that. So you may be picking up from several shippers, and you may be delivering to several customers or receivers for one brokerage with that one truck. So that's what I mean. So yes, the possibility of more than one pickup and more than one drop is greater with a reefer equipment type than it is with a dry van equipment type or a flatbed equipment type. So that's why those are the types of questions that you have to ask. And I'm gonna write that down on the on our little profiles so if you go out to reefer carriers now, you'll ask them, what do you prefer? Do you prefer only to have one pick, one drop, or no more than X picks and X drops? So. But this broker is Decker Logistics. I guess the contact was. I guess he wasn't Graham Oman. He wasn't in the office. He must have just left because it's Central Time. It's 6:30 here, so it's 5:30 there. He must have left at 5, so I must have caught him on the road. So it was an early. It says on the 14th early right here. If you see my screen, he was saying it was Friday though. I said, well, in your posting it's Thursday. So he said it might be for Friday. So if you're if your guy cannot, or girl, I don't know if it's a male or female driver that you have, but if they cannot find a load tomorrow, maybe you could try to position yourself for this one for Friday for him. Barring or assuming that he or she gets you back the dispatcher agreement in a timely fashion, right? You let them know, like, hey, I found a $1,400 load. It's 107 miles from Omaha, and it's picking up in Iowa, and it's going to Missouri, and it's for Friday. If we can't find nothing tomorrow, I got something for picking up Friday and delivering Monday. So, which is according to what the broker just said.
Okay.
So
I'm going to give him a call at 6 o'clock because I know he's doing his drop right now at 5:30. So I'm going to give him a call at 6 o'clock and let him know that.
Yeah, but that's just one option, right? So if we go back to the load board, I mean, there's several other options like this one here. Let's see, there's one in Iowa going to Kansas City, Kansas. That's 42.5, which is under 43. It's 84 miles deadhead. Let's bring that map back up.
Okay.
Because we're thinking of his cents per mile. Even though the dollar value, $1,400, is a lot of money, and sometimes you may have a lot of miles involved. So a lot of miles with a lot of money could be, equal to less cents per mile. But this second one that I'm looking at is this one here, which is the Guthrie Center, Iowa, which is 84 mile deadhead from Omaha. So Iowa's right here. So the next state over to the right, if you can see the map, and that one is going to Kansas City, Kansas. So it's picking up in Iowa and it's coming back over to Kansas City, Kansas south. So he's basically still in the surrounding area. So we're still keeping him close. And if we can look at this one, it's $950. It's $950 at 238 miles. So let's do the cents per mile.
Oh.
The original cents per mile will be $4 a mile.
That's a good.
Right. But let's add in the deadhead now. Let's add in that 84 mile deadhead from Omaha to the pickup location, Guthrie Center, Iowa. So we're going to add 84 to the 238 total miles, right? The practical miles. 238. So that's going to be 322. So now we divide 322 into the 950 cost to see what that cents per mile is. That's 295. That's still good. That's over the 250 cents per mile that he wanted. He was in between 2 and 250, and it's within the weight limits, right? He said 43. This is 42.5, right?
Exactly.
So, there we go. Let's do this one. 513-17-7106. So now we got to call and get some information because we don't know what the commodity is. This is an Ohio number, so they may be closed. This brokerage. Yeah, Matson. They may be closed. So now, yeah, they're closed. I forgot with the other one that we also want to ask. Also, too, when you did you ask your carrier or potential carrier with a reefer? Sometimes reefer carriers, owner-operators, they only want to haul a certain type of freight, certain types of commodities. Like they don't want to haul like chickens and certain things that'll make their truck stink, and they have to use money to wash the truck out. They may want to haul just beverages and products like that. So when you get a chance, that may be a question too, like what type of commodity. So let's go to so while we're looking at loads for your guy, this is a good one. This is 238 at $3 a mile or $295 a mile. That's a good one for you too. So, and there are others in here. We got 35 good ones in here, right? We could, in the Internet Truck Stop. Do you have access? Are you, Stephanie, are you subscription based, or you just joined the platform without being subscription based?
Oh no, I have a subscription.
So then you should have access to this.
Yes, I'm trying to log into.
Oh, hold on, one second. 1 second. He's calling me back. So let's pretend that we hold on. Hello, how can I help you?
Yeah, it's Justin Madison calling you back.
Hey, it's Justin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was looking at a load for one of my guys. He's about less than 100 miles. Guthrie Center, Iowa. Tomorrow going to Kansas City, Kansas for a reefer.
Oh, yeah, it's an egg load. We need to pick up by 2 p.m. They're a first come, first served shipper. We have a 4 a.m. appointment Friday morning. The temperature is 35 continuous. The weight will be legal. It should be roughly 42.5. And that's really it. We're paying $9.50 on that plus the lumber.
Oh, plus the lumber. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you said deliver Saturday?
No, sir. Friday morning at 4 a.m.
Oh, deliver Friday morning at 4 a.m. Okay. Is it a 1-and-1?
It is a one-pick, one drop. Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's the commodity, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's an egg load.
Eggs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let me let my guy know. Let me give him a call. He's being unloaded right now. He's over in Omaha being unloaded right now. I'm going to give him a call, see what he thinks about it. Okay?
Sounds like a plan, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right. All right, see what I did? So I'm calling. So now, we're doing live broker calls tonight, right? Where else can you get live broker calls at 7 o'clock at night? So what did you get from that conversation, Stephanie? Because this is mainly centered towards you. This might be a load for him too. It picks up tomorrow, 2 p.m. by 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this could be an incentive for you to get your guy to get on the ball to get that dispatch agreement back to you. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
So this picks up tomorrow at 2 p.m. and it delivers Friday at 4 a.m. And it's eggs. So I asked him the commodity. I asked him, was it a 1-and-1? It's a 1-pick, 1 drop, which is usually, with mileage, trip miles, the distance in this trip, I can't imagine it being more than 1 pick or more than 1 drop. It's only 200. It ain't even 250 or less miles. So you can't be doing too many stops in that. And it's FCF. You're going to hear this a lot. Or you're going to see it in the load board. They're going to say FCFS, first come, first serve. So what that means is he gets to the shipper. Whoever gets to the shipper first gets loaded. Whoever gets to the receiver first gets unloaded. That's all that means. So the earlier the better. That's all. Because what that means also too is there are 24-hour shipper and receivers. So that's why it's first come, first serve. So he said the temperature for the reefer load is 35 degrees continuous. Do you know what that means?
Yes. He has to have that temperature on that. When he gets loaded, it has to be started at there and continue until it's dropped off at that same temperature.
There you go. Wow. Where did you get that knowledge from?
I listen to you.
And he says it's paying $9.50 to the truck plus the lumper. Now, do you know what the lumper is? So they're covering the lumper cost.
That's the fee. If someone has to unload it, doesn't the broker pay for the lumper fee, or?
That's what he just said. He said it's paying $9.50 to the truck plus lumper. So if there's a lumper fee charged when he goes to the shipper to get loaded, or if there's a lumper fee charged to the receiver when he gets unloaded. See, lumpers can be at the shipper and the receiver. They can charge you a lumper at the shipper where you get loaded, and at the receiver when you get unloaded, because all it is guys on forklifts in the warehouse loading and unloading your trucks. That's all it is. And they charge a fee for that service. That's all that means. I got a few comments here. Let me see. Right. Look at 2 more and present him with 3 choices. Yeah, So yeah, we look at 2 more presented with 3 trusts. So we got 2 trusts formed right now. 2 should be enough to get him to get on the ball to get that dispatch agreement back to Stephanie. Yusuf said, "Good evening, Charles. I will leave if my clients come." Or I sent like a couple of hundred emails and text messages. Phone calls are the way to go. Yep, they are the live calls, and we're calling brokers live. We're going to probably call some carrier. Well, we got a carrier right now. I'm on here with Stephanie. She's one of the students on the platform, and she got her first carrier, and I'm providing some assistance with some ideas to try to get a carrier to convince to get this dispatch agreement back in a timely fashion. We got 2 loads right now. One's at $9.50, which is about $2.95 a mile. Call the brokers. You heard it on the phone live. The call's recorded, so we can go back and play this for you guys to listen to a broker and what dialogue you as a dispatcher representing your carrier should have when you're calling the broker. I'm just talking to them like a regular person, but what I do is I'm looking at my load and I say, hey man, I'm looking at this load, this reefer load, picking up in, for this, let's use this as an example, this one here on the screen. I'm looking at a reefer load. This is the dialogue. I'm looking at a reefer load picking up in Guthrie Center, Iowa on Thursday going to Kansas City, Kansas. Is that load still available? Or I should say, is it still available or is it still or is it covered? If it's covered, that means he's already booked it. It's already gone. And they may or may not have taken it down from the load board. That's why you still might see it. Sometimes some loads are already covered, but the brokers just haven't had the time to unpost it from the load board. You're going to get cases like that too. So, but and they'll say, yeah, it's still there. And then I didn't even have to ask him for the details. He started just spewing out stuff because he realized he got a late call from somebody wanting to load. He thought he may have got somebody to book a load, but I was getting his hopes up. And I said, well, let me call my carrier. He's over in Omaha getting unloaded right now, and I'll let him know. So I kind of like got to him a little bit, and then I asked, what was the commodity, and he told me the temperature, 35 degrees continuous, first come, first serve, $9.50 to the truck plus lumber, so all of that. So what did you get out of that? What else did you get out of that, Stephanie?
He gave all the details of needed from that, so yeah.
Okay, so let me go ahead.
Like, okay, once they get the load and everything, say the carrier picks up the load and everything, we follow up with the carrier, like, or we check in to see where they are, like, it, just kind of, or I was seeing the map point. I saw that. Do we use that, download that to track the truck, or how do we?
No. The purpose of Macro Point is it's an app that installs on the cell phone of the carrier by way of the broker, so they can track the truck because they're the ones who keeping track of the truck because now they're under that load for that broker whose customer is a shipper. So we could have Macro Point, but there's no point. I just call my carriers because I know the day that they pick up. I know the day that they're supposed to deliver. I know the time that they're supposed to deliver on that day. So what I do is, when they pick up, I just check on like, okay, you picked up, that's cool. Sometimes my carrier will call me and say, hey man, I picked up, and I'll just, and the broker does check calls all the time because they're mainly following the truck because it has their freight in it, and they want to update their customers who are the shippers. So then, once my carrier gets to the destination, I'll say, okay, you there? What time did you get there? And they'll say, yeah, I'm here. I got here. So I'll, and then I'll update the broker either email or phone call, and then everything is just smooth. And once he gets loaded or once it gets offloaded, then the process of invoicing them goes into play. But yeah, as far as Macro Point, it's mainly there's several of them, but Macro Point is the most popular one. It's an app that installs on the phone. It's a software tracking app for the trucking industry.
Okay, I have one more question. Like say if I found 2 loads by 2 different brokers, and they were going in similar areas, and they were being delivered at different times. Can I book him with both of them, both of the loads? Even though, can he put just 2 separate loads on his truck for different brokers? Is that?
He can, unless the first broker has in their broker agreement or on the rate confirmation that load is exclusive. What that means is no other freight can go on that truck or on that flatbed or on that trailer or whatever. If that load, and if the rate con says that this load is exclusive, that means nothing else can go on it. Otherwise, let's say you got a load that wasn't a full truckload and you had enough space to put some more pallets on for another load. You could do that if the first broker says, okay, this load, if he didn't say it's exclusive, then yes, you can do that. We do that with flatbeds all the time.
Okay.
So yeah, if it's not exclusive, then yeah, you're good.
Okay.
So let's see, what else? So let's go to our Word document for a reefer. I'm just going to put it in. I'm just going to put some raw information in here first, and then I'll make it up as we go. So as far as reefer profile, so let's see here. So what are some of the things that we need to know? Number of picks, right?
Yes. The temperature.
Or what is that? What does picks mean? Picking up from the shipper, right?
Yes.
Shipper location. So I'm just going to make it as detailed as possible. Number of drops, because this is a reefer, because remember, of the three equipment types, the reefers are the ones who are likely to have more than one pick, more than one drop, right? So now we can say receiver location. Those where drops go at the receiver, because you're picking up from a shipper and you're dropping at the receiver or delivering. So what else? Of course, we want weight. We want to know what our weight is. Deadhead, and it's just as raw right now. Commodity, right?
Yes.
So what is commodity? What is that? Freight?
Yes.
Cargo, that's another word for it. Or we can just spell it out. What is on the truck? Or trailer, I'm sorry. Let's say trailers. Let's get real detailed. What is loaded? What is loaded on the trailer? It's called commodity, freight, cargo, right? For those, I want to keep it for the very beginners, right? And then what else? What are some of the things as we were going over the reefer, as we were calling the brokers and thinking about it, especially from Stephanie's perspective, what are some of the things that we probably could have asked the reefer carrier in the profile, so when we get it back, we'll have an understanding. Oh, what's the main thing? What his payment, right? Cents per mile. Cents per mile. Let's say least amount of cents per mile. So, like it will even say example $2 per mile. Right?
Yes.
What else? What else should be in there, you think? I think we got.
If he does short or long hauls, that would have told me if he wanted to go further out.
Right, short or long haul. About mountains, tolls, right?
Yes.
That'll tell you if he goes to the East Coast and not as far as New York, or there's tolls on other places too. So, but I think that's we can think of anything else for the reefer one, and I may separate it into individual profiles for each equipment type. Matter of fact, that's probably what I will do. So when a person on this platform goes after a reefer carrier, they can log into this, print out a PDF of the reefer profile and send that and edit it for themselves and tweak it for their company and then go from there. Good point. Yeah, Twit card, hazmat. Well, not necessarily hazmat, but TWIC card. I guess you could get hazmat. Well, if hazmat, then you deal with like liquid stuff, tankers maybe, I don't know. But TWIC, with a reefer, with a TWIC, if you're going on the base to do a reefer stuff, then you're going to probably need a TWIC card. TWIC is, do you know what TWIC is, Stephanie?
I think, no, not really. No.
Okay, TWIC stands for, let's spell it out. Transportation Worker Identification Card. That's what TWIC stands for, TWIC. Transportation Identification Worker Card, TWIC. And it gets you on to a lot of the bases and areas that require that. So it's just a transportation worker identification card. That's all TWIC is. So let's see. So in regards to a reefer, as far as the profile, so we're getting more specific in our carrier profile portion of getting an owner-operator under our dispatch agreement and profile. We're getting more specific based off of just the 3 equipment types that we focus on. When was your last PM on your unit? That's interesting, Robert. So PM is, what that is, we do what's called preventative maintenance checks on the unit. Now, I'm not sure how far that relates to our needing to know that from a dispatcher's perspective, as far as whether they had a preventative maintenance on there. I guess what Robert is getting at is we need to know if they're able to, if their truck is up to speed as far as, you know, oil checks and belts and all this stuff, preventative maintenance, so the truck don't go down and they're able to get to loads. So, but I'm going to be leery about asking that one because that may be getting too personal to them. They're like, well, why are you asking me about a PM on my truck? That's my responsibility, and he's right. But from a dispatcher, right, you want a working unit, because the reason why the dispatcher is asking, because if I want to keep you running, I want to make sure that your truck is running, right? But the carrier is probably going to, the carrier's comeback is probably going to be, well, that's my responsibility. I get that, but if you want me on your team, I need to know too that the truck is, you know. So how deep do you want to go that? You want to keep it, let's keep it generic, I guess, in a sense. So we, of course, as dispatchers, we need to know for a reefer's profile, we do need to know the number of picks, number of drops, the weight that he wants, how much deadhead he's willing to go get the freight, what commodity, the cents per mile, whether it's long haul, short haul. We may even potentially have to take TWIC off of there, but we will see. I'll leave TWIC on there for now, but I think for a reefer, that's probably okay. So what about, I'm going to put them all on one page right now, but I'm going to separate them later on and create PDFs for each individual one. But what about and let's do this, what about a flatbed profile? So a flatbed carrier. It's some of the same things. Number of picks and drops, you may have that you get it more so with the reefers than you do the flatbeds and dry vans, but it's a possibility. Okay, we still need weight. We still need deadhead. So some of the stuff is common. These are some of the common, right? Still need deadhead. We still need what type of commodity, because some carriers only haul certain types of freight on their trailers, right? We still want to know if they want to go short or long haul. But with a flatbed, we need to know if they have tarps or not, because there are some loads that are tarp loads, some loads that are non-tarp loads. We need to know if they have chains, binders, dunnage, things like that. Chains, binders, straps, dunnage, PPE, which is protective equipment, personal protective equipment, PPE, like the neon jackets, the hard hats, the steel-toe boots, things like that, for a flatbed. Okay? And I'm going to go on a little bit more. I'm going to separate these and make them individualized. But getting back to Stephanie's reefer person, did we cover everything for your reefer profile, Stephanie?
Yes, yes. You said, did we cover everything from it, the profile?
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Do you feel that there's anything missing from a so if you send a dispatch agreement and profile out to your carrier, of course you're going to ask for their name and location where they live. You know, the general information: your first, last name, cell phone number, email address, and your address. That's a given. But the additional stuff is this stuff here on the profile, right? So yes. Is there anything in the additional profile stuff that we may or may not include? I'm going to take out TWIC. I may put it on the flatbed and the dry van, but I'm going to cut it from and then put it down here.
We did everything's on there.
Okay. And we did flatbed.
What days? What days are you off? So we won't book any. I guess they would do that on the profile, or I don't know if that would be included.
Right. Well, they'll say that, and they'll actually tell you. They'll say, "Well, keep me running for 2 weeks." Like I kept a guy running for 2 months actually, but keep me running for 2 weeks, and the person say, "Well, how can you keep a guy running for 2 months?" Well, if you got brokers, you send them back and forth on loads. You figure each load is going to take a day and a half to 2 days, depending on how far it is and how much he's paying. So you figure in 2 loads, there's a week right there, and there's only 4 weeks in a month. So you can do 4 loads. So he did 8 loads in 2 months. So let me take this call. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Charles?
Yes.
Hey, this is Della Upshaw. How you doing?
I'm okay. You're on the live training. Della, how are you?
I'm fine. I didn't know I was on live training. I called to ask a question.
Okay, you can ask it on. I'm doing live training right now, but you can ask your question because it may benefit someone else.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to know, what is the process of getting your own authority?
As a broker or as a carrier? As an owner operator?
As a carrier.
As an owner operator. Well, it depends on what type of authority it is. Like if you want to just be you're just saying a regular truck driver, right? You're not talking about a moving.
Well, what?
Go ahead.
I want to be able to have people to run upon my authority.
Okay, but then the first thing you need to do is apply for your MC authority with the FMCSA. And that's a one-time, non-refundable $300 fee. So you're gonna apply for that. If you get that, then of course you gotta have, of course you need your W-9, you need an EIN number, and you're gonna need some insurance.
Okay, so you gotta have insurance to get that.
Well, you don't necessarily have to have insurance to get the authority, but you're going to need insurance if you're going to have carriers running up under you.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So, but that's the start right there. And then if you're gonna, are you gonna lease your tractor and trailer? Are you gonna have a tractor? Are you gonna have your own tractor and trailer, or are you going to have contracted owner-operators with their own equipment already, just leasing your authority and running with their own equipment? So you have to consider that as well. So are you just getting your authority and not a truck and trailer, or are you getting your authority and a truck and trailer and just having drivers drive up under your authority? So there's several ways of looking.
Yeah, just having drivers to drive up under my authority.
Okay, so are these drivers, do they have their own tractor and trailers, or are they going to be driving yours?
They would have their own.
Okay, so then you would need, first of all, of course, the FMCSA website. Of course, IRS.gov. I would assume you already had a company name with an EIN number, and then apply to. Right, because prior to applying for FMCSA, they're going to ask you, are you a business? They're not going to give an FMCSA to just an individual. You have to be a business. And then that's a one-time $300 non-refundable process to pay to apply for the authority. You may not even get it, but to apply, it costs $300. Is one time. I don't want to say one time. It's a non-refundable fee. Whether you get it or not, it's non-refundable. Right. So because there's
qualification.
Right, there you go. That's the next question. So on the website, I don't know verbatim, but on the website it lists the qualifications for getting your MC authority, because it's going to ask you in the website what type of authority are you applying for. Now there are 4 types of an authority for a motor carrier, not a broker, but a motor carrier. A broker has 2 types: a broker of property and a passenger. Household goods. Household goods broker. But the motor carrier, the truck driver, the owner operator, there are 4 types. There is a common carrier, which is what you see out here every day. Then there are the contracted carriers, which are those who have just specific, for obvious reasons, you have a certain contract with a major shipper or a person. So you get a contracted authority because you're just going to be running just with them all the time, like year-round or whatever. Then you have what's called a passenger authority. Let's say you drive a charter bus, like the Chinese buses that go back and forth to New York, or you have a limousine service, or anything that's going to be carrying passengers. You need a passenger authority. Then the last one is what's called HHG, household goods. That is like the moving companies, like the large companies like Atlas, Coleman. You see them big old moving trucks out here moving military families across the country. So I'm assuming with you are applying for the common carrier authority, so you can have just owner operators with their own equipment lease up under your authority, and they pay you a percentage of the gross revenue that they bring in from their loads. That's what I'm assuming.
Right.
Okay, so common carrier, then you would select common carrier. It's going to take you to another phase of that website. I wish you were in the live training. I can just go directly to the website. But if you go to the website, it'll take you through those steps. And to get you started with that process, it'll ask you what type you're applying for. And you go through that step. You'll select that, and you go through the criteria for that particular one that you selected. And at the end, it's going to, ask you for your credit card information to pay for that application. Doesn't necessarily mean that you got it, but it's just saying that's just the process.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And let's say, for example, you do get it. So now what you'll get is you'll get a letter in the mail from FMCSA DOT with your MC number on it. And then you can apply with DOT. Now, also, too, are you getting I'm assuming that you're going to be, is your authority going to be just within your state of residence, or are you going to have carriers all over the country running loads?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
But most likely, probably so.
Which one?
As far as having carriers all over.
Okay, because if you just want carriers within your state, then you just apply for a DOT, which is intrastate, an intrastate authority. But if you need an authority that's going to have carriers running all over the road to touching all 48 states, then you're going to apply for your motor carrier authority, which is interstate. Now that opens up another realm of this process. So now you have to deal with IFTA, which is the International Fuel Tax Association, and then you're going to deal with apportion plates. You got to get apportion plates because every different states that you touch, you got to deal with that too. So you got to show that you have the authority to run all over the place. So it's a process. It's a process, but it's a step-by-step process. FMCSA and DOT explains it to you thoroughly. I would advise you to read the fine print when you do apply for it. Or if you know someone that you're familiar with, that you have, that you know that has theirs, get with them to see what the process was for them. Now it varies from state to state. So.
Okay.
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 So that's the. I'm assuming this.
My question.
Huh?
I said, yeah, you answered my question.
About getting the authority, huh?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So
that's what I want to know. Pretty much, I understand. So you say interstate is local. I mean, your state.
Well, no,
right?
intrastate, I-N-T-R-A, intrastate is right.
Okay.
It's within the. So if you're in the state of Texas and you have a DOT for the state of Texas, that means you have an intrastate authority. But remember, Texas is a large state. Texas is like running 3 states or 3 or 4 states. You can fit 3 or 4 states into Texas, so you can get a lot of loads in Texas, even though you just have a DOT and not an MC. But if you're going to run out, if you're going to run outside of Texas, including Texas and other states, now you need what's called an interstate, I-N-T-E-R. So now you got to apply for it. So now you got to apply for an MC authority. MC stands for motor carrier. So you got to apply for a motor carrier authority as opposed to a Department of Transportation number, which is intrastate. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully, you guys understand that as well. I thought that was. I actually took the call because I thought it was a broker calling back from earlier. That's why I took the call. But I mean, we still got a chance to hear some transportation related information. So where were we? We were on the profile now of the drive-in. So I'm gonna create specific profiles for the 3 equipment types that we initially go after when we are trying to get carriers under agreement. Stephanie, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Eric.
All right, and I think somebody just joined. Who was that, Eric? Gary, okay. How you doing, Gary?
Good.
Are you a guest?
Yes, I'm a guest.
Oh, okay. What brought you to the platform? What brought you to the training tonight? Just out of curiosity.
I've been listening to a couple of your videos. Really good content. I don't really think nobody on YouTube is really giving this type of information that you're giving, and I mean, you deserve an award.
I don't want an award. You know what my award would be is when all of you guys start booking loads on a regular basis and creating wealth for yourselves and stuff like that. That's the reinforcement of what I know and my experience poured into your lives in such a way that you guys do what I'm showing you with the tools and resources and my experience, over time. Now I made some mistakes too, and I'm not perfect. But that would be the reward for me. And if you notice, my pricing points, I mean, I went up a little bit, but my pricing points are very low in compared to, like, I know people charging like $1,500 for dispatching training. I'm like, that got to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. But it is what it is. But yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate your kind words, and I will continue to just stay the course and stay steadfast. Let you guys learn from the basics, perspective. I just want to give the foundational information, and then you guys, at some point, you're going to have what's called an aha moment, right? You're going to get all of this. And I'm not saying you're not getting it now. I'm just saying it's going to come and like, oh man, that's it. That's all that's required. Because dispatching, the process is the same. And I always say this too. The process is the same. Only the players change, right? Only you have different carriers that you may have on an agreement, and you may have different shippers and brokers that you find those loads for. But the process of doing that is the same. You find the load, you talk to the broker about the load, you book the load, you invoice the carrier once that load is delivered. But there's a lot of mini steps in that process that hopefully this platform provides a base level foundational understanding of from a very beginner's perspective. So, but thank you for your words, though. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but if you start the internet for this type of information, people will touch the surface, and that's about it. But the way you teach, and it's nobody's really, in my opinion, and I've scoured YouTube, and nobody's really giving this type of information. Like I said, other people will touch the surface and say, yeah, I have a course and join, but you could just tell that you're really you got a kind heart. I should say that, because you don't really have to be giving this type of information for free, but it's gonna come back 10 times fold. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man.
I tell you what, it already is by those words alone. That's the comeback right there. When I hear a person say that, I'm sorry. When I hear a person say that, that's the comeback. That's all I need, really. The price of my platform, that's just icing on the cake. But the words that I get and the upliftment and the encouragement from you guys from learning, like today when Stephanie, she didn't have to do that, but she called me because she was excited. I don't know if are you still on here, Stephanie?
I'm still here, yes.
Yeah, she was excited because she got her first carrier. Now, I don't know if I was the first person she called, but she called me. Yeah, so, and she was excited. And matter of fact, prior to you coming into the training tonight, we were on here on the load boards, finding loads. We called 2 brokers, did we not?
Yes.
Yeah, we called 2 brokers, so we want to get the technique down. So now, like in the modules and in the procedures and in the process of this dispatching from a beginner's perspective, what do we do next, right? Okay, I got a carrier. Now that monkey's off my back. So now what? So, okay, let me look at the profile. Let's go to the load board. Let's see where he's empty at. Let's find him a load. So that's what we're doing. That's what I was doing. I found her some good loads. I was asking her questions about, okay, what's his cents per mile? She told me that. He's $2 to $2.50. What's his weight? It's 43,000. Okay. He's in Omaha right now. He wants to stay local right now for the weekend because he's close to home. So I found 2 loads, called 2 brokers. It's recorded, so you can go back and play it. If you are a member of the platform, you can go back into the training videos area and replay this back. But I'm also going to have it on YouTube also, so those can go back and play it for free. The only difference between members and those who are not members is the non-members do not have access to like the load boards and all the other tools and resources in the back office. But they get the content as it relates to like the videos and stuff like that. So you get enough training to kind of like, now that's my way of enticing you guys to try to join. Other people may just give you little feelers with a little bit of information and not share everything with you. So it's just a marketing ploy, I guess, but I find no value in that. I'm going to give you, when I try to show people stuff, I try to give it everything to the point where, you say, okay, I get it now. So.
And that's a great thing you're doing. Especially with the load boards, all the load boards you offer for $39. Like, I don't think you can get that anywhere. So, you know, for anybody who's listening, this is a great offer. I encourage everybody to jump on immediately. But, you know, like I said, for, you know, what you offer, 8, 10 low boards for, you know, $39 a month, like, yeah, right.
Now, granted, about half of those, you know, I'm paying for. The other half are like free, like internet truck stop. You just gotta, you know, set up the account and everything. But still, the top low boards that I use, like DAT, Internet Truck Stop, and 123. Those three alone you could be okay with. But I give you other ones too. But those three alone, you can pretty much eat off of those, really. Especially Internet Truck Stop and DAT Trucker's Edge, you can eat off of those because they have features. I haven't even gone into the specific features of how to, you know, just different tools and searching options. I haven't even gone on any of this. I just showed the basics of looking up a load, calling the broker, but there's so much more involved in it. So, but yeah. Again, the words that come back from listeners like you, that's my reward. I mean, again, the joining the platform and paying for the subscription, that's just icing on the cake. If all I get is, you know, thanks Charles for showing me, you know, this, that, and the third, that I'll be okay. So again, I appreciate it. I thank you very much for those kind words. And even Stephanie, when she called me, I was excited for her. So, and now we just gotta keep that carrier. Well, first of all, Stephanie, that carrier has to get that dispatch agreement back to you. So, what marketing ploy, if we can segue into that, what marketing ploy are we going to use for him? Say, hey, we found you 2 loads. One's paying $1,400, one's paying $950. The 1,400 one is like 466 miles, and the 950 one is less than 250 miles. All I need from you is your dispatch agreement. You don't tell them the details of the load or anything like that. Just put that filler out and say, all I need back from you is the dispatch agreement so we can officially be a team, basically, right? You want to tell them something like that. For us to be officially a team and for me to start finding you these good paying loads like I just found you just now, we even talked to the broker tonight. All we need is your information to make this an official team. So, and then see what he or she says. And I don't know if it's a male or a female that you have as a carrier potential.
Okay. So I tried to log into the Internet Truck Stop. I got the new passwords that you sent me, but I can't get in.
Let me see, because I'm going to send me. I got you in private. Let's do a private chat real quick.
Okay.
And Stephanie. So I'm typing something. Does anyone have any questions at this point?
Oh, one quick question. I know you probably talk about invoicing your carriers.
Yeah.
From your carriers, what is the most, I should say, common method of them paying you? PayPal, Cash App, you know, the Square. What do you see? What do you come across?
In the past 2 years, PayPal.
Okay.
PayPal. Now, I do have a Square account, business account, but PayPal is so user-friendly to me. Now, other people that I've dealt with were saying that they've had bad experiences with PayPal. I don't know. I'll just say I have not had a bad experience with PayPal as far as me invoicing a carrier and a carrier paying me. Even if the carrier does not have a PayPal account, of course there's the option to pay with a credit or debit card. Square also offers that too, as well. Square has some other features that I haven't even had time to go into Square to learn all of the features and see what difference between Square and PayPal that those features have, because I'm so busy invoicing in PayPal that I don't really care at this point, right? So until PayPal disappoints me on a consistent basis where I need to choose another invoicing application, I'm going to stick with what works, right? That's life, right? In life, you stick with what works. You know, you may hear other people.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I use both to send money, PayPal, and I use Square. You know, I have a 9 to 5. Actually, I have a Class B license. I drive the city bus, but I'm also a car dealer and a Forex investor.
Oh, okay, so, foreign exchange. I was looking at that for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we might have to talk on
we have to. Yeah, we might have to table that. We might have to table that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but Forex is.
You said Gary.
Yeah.
All right, I'm writing your number down on the Forex side and seeing what's going on. I had an interest in foreign exchange, so.
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to get off topic, but I use automated robots and they do all the work for me. I don't know if you ever heard.
Oh, the Autobots. Okay.
Yeah. So that's just amazing. But I like I said, I'm a car dealer too, so you know, I kind of do it all. But the Square, I think it's a good application. You know, you can like bill your customers a month out in advance, 30 days out in advance, you know, just in case you forget or anything like that. It automatically gives them a receipt. You can text them a receipt.
You can do that in PayPal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even know because I don't use, you know. Okay. Okay, so that's.
So I'm trying. What I'm doing is gradually. I haven't been as consistent and as focused on it as I should be, but I'm doing a comparison and contrast between the two, just to see why people are saying that they like one over the other. So until I come across a high level of differences, I'm going to stick with what works. And right now, PayPal, I mean, even though I have a Square account, PayPal is what's working for me. I mean, I invoice, they send me the invoice, it's linked to my business email, it's linked to my business account, just like Square is. So, but I started with PayPal, then I went to Square because someone said they had a bad experience with PayPal, so I kind of got like gun-shy and I jumped to Square. But then I said, well, I'm not having the same bad experiences with PayPal as this person claims, so why did I jump so quick? So I went back to PayPal, and it's been smooth ever since. So sometimes when you hear stuff from people, it's always good, even in life, to do your own investigation. Don't just take a person's word for it, you know? So, but Stephanie, I sent you a private chat. Did you see that?
Yes, I replied back. Did I know? Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was so busy running my mouth. Okay, so you got too many H's in Yahoo, and then the password is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just text. Yeah, I was.
And the password is the wrong one, so I'm going to give you the right one. There you go. So try that one and let me know, and we'll go from there. So we got 2 loads for you. Oh, let me finish up the profile on the dry van side. So with a dry van, we got our reefer profile, we got our flatbed profile, and we got our dry van profile. Also, too, what I'm going to be adding to the website is a list of about 6, maybe more, brokers that book loads for new carriers. So if you got a new authority that's 90 days or less, these brokers like C.H. Robinson, TQL, they still book. So if you get a carrier who just got their So what does this mean for you guys as dispatchers? If you go after carriers who just got their MC authority, because those are the ones who are the most willing to give you a chance to dispatch for them because they're new themselves, but you'll be wondering like, well, man, I got a new carrier, but these brokers are not giving them a chance. Well, we got about 6 or so brokers that do. So, okay. So I'll put that on the website as well. Any other questions? And this will be recorded as well on the YouTube channel and the website, especially the part with the conversation with those brokers, so you guys can get the dialogue and the feel of how to talk with the brokers, what to ask, how to talk, the tone, the diction, the words, things like that. Because you're going to be doing this eventually all the time. So it's going to come a time where it's going to become second nature to you, where you literally talk to the brokers all the time, and your skill set in doing that is going to get very good. So, oh, RG, what's going on with Lucille? Unmute yourself, RG. Rob. If you can, let me unmute you. Because you just got a
Can you hear?
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, I'm.
Hey.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing, Charles? I'm broadcasting from my phone, so I can't hear you guys. I'll just talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to get them. Like I said, you're implementing that. Thankful to you. Appreciate that, carrier. You're implementing that new broker for people with under 90 days. That's the kind of issue I had today, trying to get our guy Lucio a load. A couple people were messing with him. Who was it? XPO would mess with him under 90 days. A couple people was new to them, so they weren't really messing with him. We checked. I had myself and some other people checking. All the loads we had were less than the one you found us, and he had a friend of his recommend him to a guy who got him a load into Florida for $2,200.
Okay, it probably was Francie. I know he probably dealt with Francie.
I was looking, like you said, I was been looking since 6:30, since 7:30. Opened up, calling people, but they would mess with him, or were getting levels that are too low, and they weren't going into Florida like he wanted to. So I'm happy for him. I'm usually frustrated when it happens, but I'm happy for him because we could not have found a better load for him. He seemed like a cool guy. I let him know if he's leaving out of Florida, when he gets down there, let me know what city he's in, and if he's coming back on Friday, we'll try to get him a back load up to his area.
Good. I am going to create that. I'm gonna create that list like right now too for just on this live call. But I'm also going to create it as a PDF and put it on the website so you guys can go to it all the time. But let me save this one that I just created for these new carrier profile options, I'll call it. I'll put it on the desktop for now. All right, then I'm going to close this one. And I'm going to open up. Now, I got this from another source, but I think it's pretty reliable. Hey, Moni. Moni joined in. How are you? And I'm also with you. I'm glad you said something, Rob, but because also with other people, if you enroll as a subscription-based member of this platform, Dispatcher 101 Training for Beginners, there is also, in addition to you finding your own carriers, for those dispatchers who are having difficulty getting carriers to say yes to a dispatcher agreement, I offer sub-dispatching where you dispatch some of my carriers who I already have under a dispatch agreement, and we just split the commission initially. And then over time, as you do a good job with that carrier who I have under a dispatch agreement, the commission split increases more so in your favor. So say 50-50 starting out, you book loads for like a month, and then after like a month we say, okay, I'm going to switch that to 60-40, and then eventually 70-30, so you get 70%. I charge 10%. So at first it'll be 50-50, 5% for you, 5% for me. Next it'll be 60-40, 60% to you, 40% to me, and then finally 70-30. 70% of that 10% goes to you, 30% goes to me. This is a sub-dispatcher program for those who are enrolled into the subscription-based membership of Dispatcher 101, which means that you pay the initial enrollment plus you're doing the $39.99, and you're having difficulty finding carriers yourself to get under a dispatch agreement. So this is kind of like a training wheels kind of thing until you are comfortable getting your own carrier, and you can say, hey, Charles, thanks for that sub-dispatching thing. I got my own carrier now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop dispatching yours, and I'll just give that person to somebody else. And then let me go ahead and do my own and keep my 100% myself of my own carrier. But this is just to help you. So if you sub-dispatch under me, the only thing you're not going to need the dispatch agreement. You're not going to need the dispatch agreement. You will need my carrier's profile because you would need to understand what they look for so you can look for those loads for them. And then I'm also going to send you those other documents, copies of those other documents that you're going to need to book the loads with. What are those? The MC Authority, the W-9, and the Certificate of Insurance. So, any questions on that? I'll log out of this. And I was doing next was listing the brokers who book loads with new carriers. So I'm going to create that one right now. Let me see this. Okay, Stephanie said it works. Okay, it works, Stephanie. Good. You're in?
Yes, I'm in.
So I didn't realize you were a subscription. Are you a subscription based?
I started like September because I've never been in trucking before. So I'm brand new to the whole trucking industry. So I've been I've been going over everything, reading everything, so I can make sense when I talk to the carriers. So, but yeah, since September.
Yeah, I got you. September
11th or not? Okay.
Yep, I got it. September 9th, Stephanie number 212@gmail. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go here to do this one. Hurry up and get this one done before the 8 o'clock here. This is we'll call this one, and I'm gonna make it a PDF and then put it on the website. I'm just creating it now for you guys to see in the recording. Brokers who, let's say, what do we say? Book loads for new carriers. Is that a good title?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you find the new carriers? Like, where?
The new carriers? Let's do that. Okay. Let's do a little sidetrack here. One place is the Safer website. So let's go to the Safer website for a new carrier. And here's a little trick. I'm going to enter just a number. Okay, well, let's just enter any number, one of these numbers, MC, to get a number, and see if one shows up correctly. All right. And over here where it says licensing and insurance, I just put the information in just to have it, but in licensing and insurance, that's where you go. And then up in this menu right here, choose menu option, we're going to go to FMCSA register. So every new carrier will be in the FMCSA registry as a new carrier. Okay? So we're going to select FMCSA, which stands for Federal Motor Carriers Safety Administration. the register. So we're going to go to that, and we go to the most recent one, which is the 13th today. It's a report, and it puts it out in 2-week increments. This is a 2-week report. I'm going to get the latest one, so I'm going to click that. It's going to open up a PDF. So now you get 66 pages, right? And I'm going to scroll down to the area where it's going to say, I think it's going to say fitness. Do you have fitness and non-fitness areas for carriers? So let's go like to page 34 or something. So right now, these are certificates of registration. So these are carriers who registered or freight. FF stands for freight forwarders. MC stands for motor carriers. So I'm going to keep scrolling. There's a section in here. Let's see, 44. It might be like in page 30 or something like that. Let's go down. Because this is just registration and why they got their authority either a notice or discontinued or suspended or revoked. We don't want to be in that area. We want to be in the area where they just got their authority. So okay, here's transfers. We don't want transfers. We want to go to the area. So what page is that? That's 30 something. Okay. Here we go, some decisions. So now, okay, non-fitness. So fitness and non-fitness. So what this means is non-fitness means non-fitness only. Motor, common, and contracted carriers of household goods, motor carriers of passengers, intrastate motor carriers, household. So it's giving you the categories of it, right? So remember, the ones that we're looking for are the common carrier authorities. So motor carriers for common carriers, not contracted carriers. So, and we want it to be interstate and not intrastate, depending on the state. Like this Texas, you'll be okay with Texas because Texas is a pretty big state. So, so we got one, let's say you got one here, but this one here is intrastate common carrier, but of passengers, not of household goods or except household goods. So we will scroll down. We got brokers, we got interstate. So we're going to, now, that was non-fitness. So here's fitness. So motor common carriers, motor contracted carriers of property except household goods, because we don't want household goods. We're not a moving company, right? So we want those common carriers interstate except household goods. So now we go down, we're in the right section, the fitness section of the FMCSA registry of new carriers. So now, right now we are in the section of the freight forwarders. A freight forwarder is someone who receives freight in, processes it, holds it for a while, and then other contractors come and get their freight and distribute it and delivers it. That's a freight forwarder. We're not dealing with freight forwarders right now. So we're going to scroll to the area, and we're not dealing with brokers. So now we're dealing with, here's one right here, interstate common carrier except household goods. So this person right here on the 7th of November, that new MC for this company right here, Lassa Farm and Trucking LLC, that is a new carrier. Same with this one here, interstate common carrier except household goods. So now you got a whole page of new carriers. Several pages. You keep going, right? Well, this is a broker. You want to avoid that one. But this is the area where you would go to on the SAFER website of FMCSA. You would type in a dummy. I'll go back. Let's start over in case you guys missed it. I think I moved a little bit too fast. So here's the SAFER website, right? I'm going to copy that and paste it to you guys. So that's the safer website. Okay, that's the first step. We went here. You can put a dummy DOT, a dummy MC, a dummy company name just to get to the next stage, to the area where it's going to ask you for, or the area where it says other information for this carrier. You want to click the link that says licensing and insurance, right? So once you get to that, it's going to take you to this page. So what I'll do is I'll copy the link for that page. Well, I don't want to do that because it has the personal information of the MC that I typed in. So once you put the dummy information in, you click the licensing and insurance link on the previous page right here for the dummy MC that I put in, licensing and insurance. Once you get to this licensing and insurance public page, you're going to go to the menu option in the upper right and the drop down arrow and select FMCSA register and hit go. That's going to take you to the registry area, report area, the register section. You're going to always click the uppermost, the top PDF report, always. All right? And then you'll scroll down to the fitness area, not the non-fitness, but the fitness area. So we're in transfers. Now we are in non-fitness, so let's scroll down to the fitness area, which is right here. And you're only going to look for interstate common carrier except household goods. Those are the ones you're looking for, and now you have their MC information all throughout here. So this is 37 or 38 or 66. It may go all the way from 38 to 66. So here's a whole spreadsheet, well, not a spreadsheet, but a PDF listing new carriers and the date of their, so they're brand new, because that's the 7th. That was like, what is today, the 13th? So that was less than a week ago. So now the only drawback to this is you don't know what equipment type they have. So you would have to, when you call and conversate with them, and you don't know if they only have one truck, if they are a trucking company, you don't know their equipment type. So you're going, with this particular method, you're kind of going in raw, in a sense. You know, you're going into the process a little bit raw, a little bit unknown, which is fine. That's fine too. So now you get a chance to practice asking those types of questions. Oh, hey, what equipment type do you have? Are you a trucking company? How many assets or how many trucks do you have if you are a trucking company? Are you looking for dispatching service? Things like that. So, but that's how that's done through FMCSA to find the brand new. Who asked that question anyway? Stephanie? I think it was Stephanie that asked that question. Stephanie, did you ask that question? Oh yeah, enjoy your birthday. Happy birthday, RG. You got a birthday today. Today is RG's birthday. Happy birthday. Good luck. Enjoy your birthday cake. All right, take care. So someone asked about that new, where to find the new carrier. I think it was Stephanie. So that's the area there. Now back to the brokers who book loads for new carriers. Before the training is up, I'm going to finish this one out. So, and you guys can Google the broker's name and then talk to them, broker, and then see if they have loads in the area of where your carrier may be at that point in time. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8. So I got 11 here so far. So And while I'm typing this, if anyone have any questions, just let me know. And I will eventually create a PDF and upload this to the website for members to, especially those who are just getting. Matter of fact, I just heard from Fifth Wheel today about a load. And I just heard from a factoring company who wants to partner with this platform. So if you got carriers, who need a factoring company who are new, on the website I'm going to put a factoring company that will get them factoring sooner than most. So, and I think that's it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that's it. So here we go there. Going to bold, underline center, red, increase it, and there. So if I center this, I don't know if that'll look weird or not, but let me see. And let's bold it and grow it. There. So hopefully that'll help you guys. Brokers who book loads for new carriers. And I'm going to save that as such on the desktop and then add it to the website later on as a PDF. All right? So that's it for the night, guys. Any questions or comments before we get ready to close? Everybody's good? No questions? All right, guys. I want to thank you guys. Guests, hey, Moni, Robert, Darius, as always. Darius, you're very faithful. I appreciate you.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Yes. Hey, Moni.
Thank you for the subscription update with the 1, 2, 3 low board.
Say again, I'm sorry.
Remember, a couple of weeks ago, you said you were going to get the 1, 2, 3 low board back on.
Yep, and it is.
Yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Do you have access?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
All right. Hey. Hydrogen.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm glad it's helping. All right, guys. I will see you on Sunday. As always, let me put my number here for you. There you go. See you Sunday. All right.